still during the late game, you're never going to run out of mana. So it's only like maybe 20 to 30 minutes where it might be an issue. But even then, I think it's kind of
have to see how it. Sometimes, as Dota players, we grind a lot in pubs. We have to actually see it more. So we haven't been able to practice because we've been getting
early game. It could be more of a nuisance than late game.
For sure, early game. I think it's a big problem because you might have to max out the essence.
Yeah, essence.
And then you have the arcane orb doing less damage now, so you actually have to max it sooner.
How much mana do you have? Like, say I guess you would have to be like level 10 or 11, right? Because then you have max essence or a max orb. And then you have to also consider how much mana do you have at that stage in the game. So how many autos do you need, and how much mana does the auto actually give you?
Let's have this discussion again if OD is actually picked, because I'm sincerely doubting that hero is.
I mean,
I think it's a dead hero.
It probably won't be picked, but it's interesting theorizing because the hero obviously had very good strengths in the last patch, and I think the biggest one was just the fact that imprisonment was so good at level 1. But I still think you can do a ton of damage with him, and I still think,
I guess if he is going to come out, it should be today, as it's only best of ones, and it won't affect, like, you won't get dropped out of the tournament.
It's just brackets.
It's just brackets. If you're going to start in the upper bracket or in the lower bracket, that's what's going to decide today. You can't get knocked out. We do have a draft, by the way, as you can see.
All right.
10 seconds.
We can find out what we have. Oh, right there.
No, we don't want to see the draft.
That was like Back to the Future almost.
Yeah. We didn't have a Lich ban, by the way, not yet.
Not yet. I don't think he's first ban material, honestly. I'm not sold.
Well, you're saying that, but we had 3 games just now where it was first ban material.
Because people didn't want to play against it yet.
Okay, this is going to be biased as a Dota player, right?
Okay.
When I see something...
How can you be biased as a Dota player?
No. It's a bias as a Dota player is in people are always going to ban stuff that they don't want to play against regardless of strategy.
Okay, yes.
So
like
when
we had a Brood ban, like loads from
exactly. People
Brood.
don't want to play against Brood. It's just like, I don't care, I'm banning Brood second phase every single game.
Because he's just annoying.
Because he's just annoying. And I think that's what people are doing with Lich.
Fair enough. I'll take that as a reason. Well, we do have a draft, and I am curious about the bans, so I'm hoping that's going to get back soon. Because I think I saw a Gyrocopter ban.
In the first 2.
I think I saw a Wisp ban too, but I'm...
Wisp was banned out by EWolves.
Yeah.
Okay, and Team Spirit banned out the Gyrocopter.
In your face, Andy.
And Lich. Okay.
Now you get Enchantress, though. I think... I feel like Enchantress is more scary than Lich, though. But
I think with both Chen and Ench in the pool, it's debatable. Yeah. Oh, not even going to go for it. Oh, that's actually good because you don't need to. Yeah, you don't need to go for it. Yeah. I like that. Good opening here from the Spirit. And something that's not insanely off the wall, so thank goodness for that.
And it can fit into most strategies. Like, you can go all directions with that hero.
Yeah, it's definitely a pretty much do anything you want, and you're always going to have push, you're always going to have Roshan potential.
So Gyrocopter first ban. Talk to me about that. What? No, talk to me about first pick Slaughter.
Well, clearly with the
Wind Ranger.
The Beastmaster being banned out, I think, is a really good thing for Slardar. Like, to open up that way, he's probably one of the best heroes against it. Obviously, Beastmaster Vision means that you're not going to get as good Blink initiations, and Roar is just great against Slardar in general. I think in a game like this, when you pick Slardar, you're expecting a lot of like these melee cores to be picked up because people are talking about LC all the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I was about to ask you, Axe. What's better about Axe or Slardar than Axe right now? Because Axe is very good against Furion. And
yeah, he is.
He's very good. That's why I'm like...
oh, the Dragon Knight picking the Tusk. All right, we're going.
We talked about Dragon Knight today.
Slardar is pretty good Dragon Knight, though.
Okay, so I'm kind of scared to say this because last time I said I liked the hero, it lost. But I love Dragon Knight now.
Yeah.
I used to hate him.
You just jinxed. Okay, so I'm betting EWolves won.
See that game? Like in the last series, the only reason I bet
EWolves won.
The only reason I bet on Empire was because I had Morphling, and I was like, all right, Bristleback pick was probably not the pick, but whatever. I still like Morphling, so I'm gonna do that again with Spirit, just because I'm a hero fanboy.
They have a lot of they have a lot of potential to kill Dragon Knight though. Tusk roaming around can cause problems on the Dragon Knight if they get, which looks like a Wind Ranger. I mean, you have to kind of ban that out now if you're Team Spirit. Just because that Amplify with the Focus Fire is too good. And then Slardar is very good at dealing with Dragon Knight just because it takes away all of that armor that he loves to have.
To an extent, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess if you keep stacking armor and armor, because we were talking about the item builds coming out from Dragon Knight. I mean, you just get plus 10 already from Armlet, and you have all that regen.
So if you go Armlet Dominator, which is potentially 15 armor with the armlet toggled on. That offsets level 2 amplify, right? And then you have 12 armor from just Dragon's Blood now at level 4.
Okay, Tesco Solar Crest.
Yeah. The funny part about Slardar is that even with minus 20 at level 16, you still don't have enough minus armor to bring DK to 0, which I think is actually a really good thing for DK.
Because he's susceptible to these, early game pressure. He needs to be the one that's in the front line. You have to tank up all the damage, and if he's not able to do that, then...
The other thing is, too, I think as DK, it's very important to remember that you only want to itemize against one type of damage. Because you can't go for everything, you know what I mean? So, like, you want to either get AC, or you want to get a pipe, because you don't want to have to go, like, pipe and then AC together in the late game. It's just, like, not a great build-up.
Wouldn't you just get AC and BKB?
You can do that as well. But the thing with BKB is that BKB is usually bought to win team fights, and I think that DK is interesting in that he doesn't need BKB to live a lot of the time. And I think that's what makes the hero good, is that you don't actually need to go the item. Even if you have magical damage on the other team, Hood's only 1,700 gold now, so you can just go Hood into pipe very early with just an armlet and a Dominator, and you're just like, whatever.
Now, one of the reasons that we didn't see Dragon Knight in the past was because he has a tricky laning stage.
Yeah, it was tough for him, but he's much better now.
He's 4 bonus damage.
So I think his base damage now is like 53, 54, somewhere around there, which is not really super high for a melee hero, but it's good enough.
Yeah.
And
Breathe Fire?
Breathe Fire is... I really wonder if people are going to just value point that ability now. I mean,
just
obviously,
one.
You want it for deep push.
I like 2-1-2.
Obviously, you're going to max it, but I think 2-1-2 could be a thing.
I think 2-1-2 is the...
I think if your lane's really hard, 1-1-3 could even be a thing.
Because you still need to get CS from the... You still need to get CS when you're having this dual breath
But if you can always contest the wave because you just have so much regen and you're always high health, you don't need Breathe Fire as badly. So 2-1-2 maybe.
Veno.
Veno. This is
what,
really
you don't like Venomancer?
Well, I mean, if you want to play against a Venomancer plus like a Viper or something...
Well, I don't want to play against it, I want to play with it.
I'll tell you that it's really fun to have Venomancer against Slardar. Because you have Plague Wards everywhere.
Yeah.
Gale is ridiculously strong against the hero.
Yeah,
you can always see initiation coming in. And the other thing too, and this is a really big point I think when you're picking Veno, you want heroes that are going to commit to the fight really hard. Because that way you guarantee that you're landing a good Poison Nova. And Slardar and Tusk are definitely those types of heroes.
Yeah, they're going all in.
And with the Nature's Prophet as well, you have this kind of, we're going to get hit by Wrath of Nature. We're going to get hit by Poison Nova. We're going to be taking a ton of damage when we get into this team fight. And as it stands right now, EWolves have no sustain. And they have no natural pipe buyer. They have
they got Cold Embrace.
Yeah, Cold Embrace.
Tusko's mechanism though, at least.
Maybe, maybe.
So normally you see the roaming Tusko for that. But yeah, I agree with you. They do. It would be nice for them to have at least some kind of mech. Yeah, you can't have the Darkseer anymore.
I wouldn't be surprised to see that Tusko offlane and then they just last pick Dazzle or something, because I think they need something that is going to heal.
Have another Dazzle Winter Wyvern combination, and did do that in game number 1.
Yeah, but I don't... See, I'm kind of not sold on it being super good against these heroes. They're not really the greatest at hitting buildings, so Dazzle's synergy is not going to be super good, but I suppose Weave and Slardar is always strong as
Why
a combo.
would you not go Wind Ranger over Queen of Pain here?
In this game? Wind Ranger has a worse laning phase against DK than Queen.
Yeah, it's a lesser, but to some extent, I just like the amplified damage with the Slardar effectively. And then you have the Focus Fire for Dragon Knight.
But if you think about it this way, Wind Ranger doesn't function the same way, like burst-wise.
Yeah,
so
because
Queen,
Queen of Pain
you want to go in
more.
and you want to blow somebody up before they actually get a spell off. Whereas you're more relying on hitting the Shackle as Wind Ranger. So I think like the execution-wise, Queen is actually easier.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to apply a lot of pressure because of the Shadow Strike early on, and because we talked about the Tusk roaming around, I think that's why we saw the tree being picked up, because we're adding even more armor on top of your Dragon Knight, trying to keep him alive in the mid lane. It's going to be very funny to watch. So yeah, I think that's why they went for the Queen of Pain now. It's making a lot more sense. You don't want to go against the Treant Protector's living armor and having nothing to take off of it.
Right.
So the Shadow Strike will help.
What would you like to see as last picks here?
Good question. The bans are...
Slark ban, really good ban actually.
So what's this going to be? We're missing some cores on both sides.
Give me some Lifestealer.
No, Lifestealer is terrible against those heroes.
I was thinking maybe even Juggernaut. Or is that...
Jug is really...
Oh!
It's
Venge
a core
carry, let's do it.
No, it could be a core Veno.
Could be a core Treant. It's got like you
Not
never really
core
know.
Treant.
Oh,
Can
come
confirm.
on. Don't crush
It's probably
my
a
dreams.
core Veno actually.
Look, think of how hard he's going to punch.
Actually, is it a core Venge?
I
think Illidan. I don't think Illidan plays Veno.
But I think if you go core Venge, you can get lifesteal still, and then Veno can just stay in lane.
Dragonite,
I'm agreeing with you.
It could be a Veno mid with a Dragonite on the safe lane, because it's Illidan Dragonite.
It could be Illidan Dragonite, but he hasn't played it for a really long time.
Well, I think if anything, the last
Not that Dragonite's really hard to play.
I was going to say, you know.
I just got to throw that out there. It's pretty simple.
Okay, Axe. Not bad. Picked up last. We have got at least a melee.
So before I would say Axe is a really bad pick against DK, but since Spin is pure damage now, it's pretty legit. Although I would say Blade Mail is pretty bad against DK because DK has really high armor, and you're going to be only reflecting physical damage.
So, gentlemen, who are you favoring? Who is going to
You know already what I'm going to say. I'm favoring the team with Dragon Knight.
He's a fanboy for Dragon Knight.
Dragon Knight fanboy on one side.
Can I have another 10 seconds? Let me think about this.
You got 5.
5 seconds.
4.
I honestly think
3.
Team Spirit, I think, will win this one. Just because Elite Wolves, they don't have a reliable carry.
Double DK fanboys here.
No, it's just because they don't have a reliable carry.
It's okay. You can just...
I don't want to get on the Andy bandwagon.
But they got Smash Axe.
Smash Axe.
I mean, to be fair, we talked about how we thought that they played better.
Yes.
Like comparatively. So definitely. I still think that it's a very close matchup.
Well, we're going to find out how close that matchup is actually going to be. Keep in mind, loser of this game goes straight to the lower bracket in the playoffs tomorrow. Winner will move on to face Empire, but let's find out who that team is going to be. It is Elite Wolves versus Team Spirit with Gods and AC.
Through WePlay Season 3, the live LAN here in Kiev. I'm AC, joined by Gods to my right. And this is going to be an interesting matchup, man. This draft, I think, it has a lot of action in store for us as we jump into the game.
Smash's Axe earlier today. This is a hero he's been known for a while. And with the buffs to the hero as well as to Blade Mail, it's seeing a resurgence. And right off the bat, we could be in for some aggression.
Here we go, EWolves. They want to go high ground. Coming up, there's going to be the snowball. They're going to catch out Iceberg. Locked down immediately. They do have the damage. Just a matter if there's going to be anything collateral. No commitment out of Team Spirit, and I think that's going to be the right call. So the great hope of Peru, able to draw first blood and get things going with a bang.
Yeah, a classic kind of level 1 play to make when you've got Tusk is to go for that 5-man smoke, try and catch vision of a hero, and you just snowball in 5 heroes. It does a ridiculous amount of damage when you've got 5 heroes in the snowball. And Team Spirit, looks like they will be able to secure themselves the bottom rune. And
look at this. I was going to say, are they going to go ahead and try to chase down Ewo? Yeah, they got him.
God, the slow.
Got him with the Gale. There's going to be a 3-man crush. It's just not going to matter, though. The Gale plus the Leech Seed. Yep, even using the Treants to block him a little bit. Breathe Fire secures a return kill a little after the horn blows. Now it looks like everyone's going to head to lane. So as that happens, let's take a look at who's handling who. For Elite Wolves, it's going to be M-God. Playing down in bottom lane, at least for the moment. Out in the off lane, it will be Van. Axe going to be in mid, taken by Smash. Like you said, this is the second time we've seen this today with Smash. Masuko going to be on our Winter Wyvern. Also helping out Ewo, who is down here. And again, the Tusk hanging out for the moment. Out in this off lane for Team Spirit will be Golblack on the tree and always want to fly on the Venge. Jungle going to be headed up by Funnick, who's going to work already on that Nature's Prophet. And it will be, at least for now, Illidan playing on this Vengeful Spirit. So a lot of interesting things happening right now. And finally, we're going to see Tusk making his way in mid to maybe take a gank attempt at Iceberg, played by the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, Iceberg healthy enough that he shouldn't be able to go down here. To me, the most interesting thing is that Funnick, the offlane player, is jungling, and the 2 supports are in the offlane together. You've got this Treant plus Venom lane from Team Spirit, where you'd normally see Funnick laning, and often you'll see like an offlaner ditch the lane to go jungle, and then one support take the lane, but they're pressuring this lane and leaving Illidan in a 1v1 against a quad, where he's actually doing all right here, trading hits so far. I feel like this lane will start to swing Queen of Pain's way once we kind of see more levels up on Van, so the fact that there isn't much help for Illidan could become a big problem for him.
Yeah, this mid lane interests me a ton, but the like you said, the one position Illidan, at least for right now, that's fun. I mean, I think we've all at some point or another taken a shot at running the carry Venge, and we've all probably been smashed by one and smashed some faces on our own. We've certainly seen it fall flat as well. Give me your thoughts in general, just on the one position Venge in particular, with these this lineup of heroes we see on both sides.
It's a very high, like kind of high octane safe lane farmer to have. It doesn't flash farm very well, but if you can get off to an early game advantage, it itemizes very efficiently with just cheap, cost-effective stat time. You go for your Ring of Aquila. You used to go for like the drums build. You can go for an SMY. Fortunately, a lot of these items aren't quite as good as they used to be. Hold on a second, bottom lane, they are going to go in for a kill.
They will catch it. And, well, they actually brought one in. Here we go. Gold Black gets a leech seed off on Masuko. Couple of right clicks. Good, well-timed smash there from EWO. No, it doesn't matter. Range for Funnick enough to secure the kill. Now EWO has to burn the sprint to try to get away. Up at top, speaking of dives, Snowball, MGod ready to go as soon as Van is. Van has enough mana for one blink. And now they're going to go for it. Yep. They're going to dive under the tier 1. Illidan caught out. Gets off the magic missile. No teleports coming. There's going to be the shards to keep him in place. They are going to go ahead and use the living armor that buys a little more time. And MGod, very low health, but will be able to make it away, as will the Queen of Pain. So 3-2 now. Wolves leading by 1.
They played that dive really well. They wait for the tower to start hitting the creep wave so it doesn't immediately draw aggro on the heroes. And then even when they go for the dive, they minimize the damage they take coming out from that tier 1 tower to secure the kill without letting the tower get any counter kills. So nicely played there. Still proving very difficult with the bonus armor from the Treant Protector, from the living armor, as well as the extra armor aura coming out from the tier 1 tower.
Well, after that gank, obviously things not going Illidan's way. He's about a full level, maybe a little short of that, behind the Queen of Pain.
Career snipe top.
Oh. One more, they got it. Nothing on it. Funnick on point with it. But, yeah, so currently, I mean, that helps. But this top lane, I think, definitely going the way of Wolves. Even before that kill, we saw Illidan beginning to fall quite a bit behind.
Yeah, Queen of Pain just able to bully the Vengeful Spirit, and that's only going to continue now with Van having level 5 as well as a bottle up on himself, so don't imagine this lane going too well for him. But Spirit, their emphasis is going to be much more towards like the bottom lane. They've got 2 heroes there who have a decent amount of kill potential with their slows, and a Nature's Prophet who can TP, and Funnick's got to be kind of the X factor for this Team Spirit lineup in the early game.
And mobility, I think, ultimately going to be what determines things for EWolves as we get towards the mid game. Hold that thought as MGod, under cover of an Invis, is joined up with Smash. Nope, no, we'll go ahead and fade, so he's going to move elsewhere. Looks like he's heading back to top. But yeah, I mean, you've got a Queen of Pain already, then you're going to have at least 1 blink, if not 2, you would imagine, certainly 2 on the Slardar and the Axe. And then, of course, Snowball to initiate with Wolves, or with the Tusk for Wolves. So, I mean, how do you play against that with Team Spirit? I mean, in terms of mobility, you don't have a ton of heroes that naturally want to build a blink. I mean, Vino, sure, he can get one if he wants to really up his Gale potential. You know, you'll see builds, you know, the Treant Protector involving blink as well. But ultimately, up, hang on mid. Smash going to be corralled in. He is able to make it back out. Now, EWO's there, going to try to chase down Funnick. No mana for Funnick. Crush on point. It looks like Iceberg not wanting to re-engage that badly. Funnick will get called, and this will be a nice kill pickup for Wolves. They now double them up.
Yeah, nice TP counter initiation. To go back to your question, I feel like Spirit, they're never going to have the best initiation until Dragon Knight gets up a Blink Dagger or a Shadow Blade. For them, it's all about tanking up so that they can survive when they get blinked upon by the Slardar or the Axe. So tanking up, they've already got a naturally tanky lineup. You've got a DK as your mid laner, heroes like Venomancer, Treant, and they've got good defensive capabilities.
It's going to be a free kill bottom, as always on a fly. Found by EWO. Masuko already started that as EWO was rotating over, so really just bad positioning, I think, there out of the Venomancer.
EWO's just been everywhere. He found the kill for the early first blood. He gets a kill bottom lane, then he comes mid with a TP. I think he just wasn't expecting EWO to be back bottom so fast. Sonic Wave kill. They'll find the Nature's Prophet in the bottom river now as well, so follow-up kills going EWO's way. He's already working towards a first item armlet. This item receiving some buffs in the latest patch, and EWO opting to try and rush this over getting a fast Blink Dagger.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you feel about that? I mean, it's always kind of been the question of Slardars. Do you go boots blink and then just go fight, or do you actually try to kind of have a more steady arc in terms of your items?
I think as long as one of their initiators gets a fast blink, and it looks like, I guess the decision is going to be that Smash on the Axe will rush the Blink Dagger for the team. You don't need 2 blinks 12 minutes in the game. Having 1 blink 12 minutes in and then the second blink coming a bit later is fine if it means that the Slardar has more single target kill potential, which is exactly what this armlet gives him. Also gives him a ton of survivability. So it's kind of making this choice where Smash is the initiator / tempo controller, and the Slardar can itemize more as a carry.
That's why we pay you the big bucks, man. Good insight. And we are going to have A panic snowball from Imgod, trying to keep himself alive. The shards actually buy just enough time. He's so low, but they're unable to find him. Van gonna need a magic missile right in the face. In the meantime, Imgod will make it to safety. So Illidan, what looked like a sure thing, the shards thrown at perfect timing, bought him time, but Van now being pursued by Iceberg. Not enough mana for another Dragon Tail. Would have been on cooldown anyways. Heals himself up. He's got a bottle as well. Here comes Smash. There's the blink away. Now Smash on top.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Man crush, but that's it. Does end up dropping.
Smash may have some regrets with this TP.
Yeah, a little ahead of himself. He says, "The hell with it. If I'm going to go in, I'm going to try to go down swinging." He will get off one good call, and now he's going to be... Oh, there's going to be the big Sonic Wave! Are you serious? Coming from the shoelaces with it. It's a 2-for-2 off the back of that. Van trying to trade hits. They will end up giving up 3 on the side of Spirit at least. And Wolves, Van still right on top of him. Can he make it 4? One more, he does! What looked to be a terrible teleport by Smash turns into a huge near team wipe for Team Spirit as Van hits arguably the biggest spell of the entire tournament thus far. Granted, we're only 4 games in, but still an unbelievably good Sonic Wave. 11-4, and EWolves on a roll. With that, they were actually beginning to fall behind a little bit in gold, not quite experience, but they take their biggest lead of the game so far.
And just having a hell of a game here. This is something very kind of unique to this team, is that Van in the offlane often plays these more kind of carry / snowbally type heroes. You'll see him on Queen of Pains, we see him on like Wind Rangers and Slacks, and he's 4-0-4 as an offlane. They give him this 1v1, well, he doesn't get given it. Team Spirit give him a 1v1, and this is not a player you want to give a 1v1 matchup on a hero that can snowball like Queen of Pain. Van is putting in huge work now, already starting to build towards the first item Orchid, it looks like.
In particular, not, it's bad enough to put him in a 1v1 anyway because it is a co-op who excels in most matchups. You're putting a 1v1 versus a carry binge. I mean, what in the world is Illidan supposed to do with that?
And Tusk has been roaming around as well. A lot of the credit for the early game goes to Mgod. Mystico has been just everywhere on this Tusk, and Team Spirit have not quite found the same results coming out of their roaming Nature's Prophet.
Well, looks like we are going to have some more roaming as Smash now making his way up north. He's just south of Funnick. He will be spotted by a Treant, so no getting the drop on Illidan this time. Looks like instead they may prioritize bottom. There's an aggressive ward spotted by Masuko. Ewo's there to try to follow this. Shards well placed off the small camp. Living Armor's there, but only buys him a few seconds. Now Iceberg coming back in, trying to find something. Nature's Wrath does good damage. Gale's going to be on point on Ewo. Doesn't matter, though. The damage is so high. Smash coming back in now, trying to track down Always Want to Fly. And behind that, the rest of EWolves joining the fray now. Van unleashes another Sonic Wave, and the Shards on point again. So EWolves once again lose one, but it's a trade they're not going to be super upset about, as they're not going to smoke right off of that. I didn't see, it was right around from a ward. I didn't see if this ward would have gotten view at the very front of that.
Looks like Iceberg, by the way, is playing, seems to be in the know, but Elite Wolves can still use this to invade the Dire jungle. Doesn't look like they have any wards to plant down, but Iceberg still looking to farm very tanky on the Dragon Knight. Not a hero they can really kill.
Thought they were going to go on him there. Instead, deciding to back on out.
Found something else at top lane. Vengeful Spirit getting amped up, but we'll be safe for now.
Deny the tier 1 bottom. Quite good in the face of the Nature's Prophet there. And here we go. Tusk initiates. Illidan's going to be the target. Walrus Punch. Illidan's going to be swapping, trying to get himself to safety, but EWolves pouring it on. But the damage from the Poison Nova is just absolutely tremendous. Illidan trying to re-engage. Imgod, Mystico going to end up dropping. Ewo's still alive. Ooh, barely dodges the Breathe Fire. And now it's Van and Iceberg And EWO, who's still just barely hanging on.
This armlet toggling from EWO just allowing him to kind of get really low, toggle it, re-engage in the fight. Even with a poison sting on him, he managed to get off one armlet toggle and surviving through it all. And really nice engagement coming out for EWolves.
All right, so we're at 12 minutes in now. Itemization coming slow but sure. And, I mean, obviously we can point to the score, we can point to the gold graph. Do you think, well, the gold graph's actually dead even. Experience is really the only place EWolves is earning.
Spirit have had the jungling nature's profit to keep things close.
Masuko engaged in mid, and now Iceberg caught with a crush. Here comes his teammate behind him, Gold Black, locked down by the Wyvern before he dropped. Tusk ready to go with the snowball. He will go ahead and let loose. That's going to be on the Gold Black. He was bringing EO with him. Immediate magic missile stun out. Here comes Van once again. Van, though, relatively low mana, 4 seconds.
Sonic Wave.
Yep, Sonic Wave almost there. There's going to be a dunk from Smash. Let's see if Van can find someone or if he even wants to spend it. Smash leading the way. There's the Sonic. He whiffed it. And now Smash has to try to turn, but he's eating damage. He's going to be taken into the snowball. Turns on the reverse switch, and they decide to turn it around with the ice ball, or the snowball. What a crazy engagement under this tier 1. Smash misses with the call. Don't know that it matters. Always when a fly does drop. And the deny! Deny on Smash. Now Funnick trying to come back in. They will be able to bring down the Tusk. So Mystico, the latest to die. It's all that for a 3 for 3, at least for the moment. And I don't know how big of a deal it was, but Van ultimately whiffing on that Sonic Wave meant that drug out a little too long, and they ended up losing Mystico and Axe at the back of it. So
yeah.
It didn't seem like much. They got the kill, but hitting that big one would have saved them a lot of loss.
It probably cost them at least one life, possibly both.
Right.
By that point, they'd actually won the fight without the Sonic Wave, and that really speaks to just how well EWolves are engaging right now. They're up by 10 kills early on. Unfortunately, kills are don't tell the full picture in a game of Dota.
They don't.
And it's a one tower advantage going Spirit's way, as well as just a general kind of CS and farm advantage going Spirit's way, so keep things very even here in this lower bracket match. Snowball in top.
Top, they are going to engage onto the Dragonite. Iceberg in some trouble. Funnick's there, has the mech, shows it off. That mech actually caused him to miss the dunk. And Funnick, going to be caught in the corner, so doing his best, but jumping the gun a little in terms of whether or not to bring it back in. Nobody else was there. Double kill for Van, as he's now up to 6-0-10. 21 kills just for EWolves, 30 total in a 15-minute game, and involved in 16 of them has been Van. What a player.
Yeah, they just keep on running in, using this snowball with Slider. And this is the other reason the Slider doesn't need a blink dagger, something you asked about, is because you've got Tusk with a snowball. He's just being the vehicle for EWO to engage in these fights. And every fight we're seeing EWO sitting around like 200 to 500 HP, but it doesn't bother him. He's got good teammates to back him up, plenty of damage output, and the Axe is the one kind of soaking up most of the damage before even EWO even considers engaging.
It's working out so far. Question is how they transition here. I mean, like, you look at Team Spirit, the fact they ran a one-position Venge, who's 1-5-3, by the way, means their late game's not excellent. I mean, but still, you have to consider high ground. You have to consider objectives. And as of right now, they've taken the top tier 1, and that's it. I mean, they've piled up the kills, but in terms of map control, not a whole lot going on. In terms of gold lead and itemization, they're up to their biggest lead thus far in the game, and it's actually beginning to show itself for the first time, really. But it's still just 2,500, 3,000-ish. The smoke might be able to get them there, but do you think they've done enough? Do you think they've done enough so far?
I think so, because it's... Oh, Curse on mid lane.
Here we go. They're going to jump right in. There's going to be the Poison Nova off. Two-man Sonic Wave is there. And they're going to try to respond to this. Always When a Fly should die easily in the river. In the meantime, Wolf just pecking away from the high ground. Always When a Fly does come back in, and now Van has to blink out, but here comes God. Smash right there on his tail. And they're going to be able to track down Iceberg. Their health just seems to always be so low, but there's never enough damage from Spirit. So the armlet toggle in particular from EWO has just been on point. He's got to be careful here, though. And yep, now he's going to re-engage. There's the crush. Funnick next on the list. Let's see if they've got the damage. Van manages to secure a godlike streak by bringing down the Treant behind enemy lines. Full 5-man wipe, and 3 of those 5 courtesy of your boy on the quad, Van, leading the way. And now I think my question was just answered by them, David. I think they're ready to take objectives now.
Yeah, they've done enough now. And they take the tier 1 top. They win a team fight with 5 for nothing. They get the tier 1 to follow it up, and suddenly Slaughter gets a Blink Dagger. Queen of Pain is 10-0-11. Has a Helm of the Dominator. Van looking to immediately transition into kind of a pseudo-fighting / right-click Queen of Pain build. Orchid Helm at 17 minutes in. And what a time to have a double damage rune. That last fight, the DD rune, really playing into EWolves' hands.
All right, your team spirit. I mean, you do have your Dragon Knight, who is notorious hard to bring down. He's gone drums. Looks like he's going Helm of the Dominator next. He's picked up the Helm of Iron.
Hard to bring down. They've done it 5 times. I totally agree. DK, hard to kill hero, but
right. Outside of that,
EWolves,
though,
they don't agree.
Yeah, outside of that, though, you know you've got that going for you. You've got a fairly well-farmed, at least compared to the rest of your team, Phonic, who is number 2 in terms of CS, whose overall net worth is right there below Smash on the other side. Outside of those 2 high points, like, what's your approach? How do you stem the tide a bit?
They need to use their team fight. Like, the Nature's Prophet is farmed, yes, but he's farmed his way into a mech build. So really, you're not getting, like, he's not playing as that carry when he goes for this mech. You're looking to team fight around the Nature's Prophet, which hasn't been working, but they need to probably finish off the Aghanim Scepter on the Venomancer and then try and use the Poison Nova, just team fight that they can bring to the table to take fights.
Well, the Poison Nova has certainly been doing its job. That's one of the reasons it seems like Wolves, at the end of every fight, or even in the middle of every fight, seem like they're all sitting on about 300 HP, but then it just falls off. Once the DK's gone, like you said, with the Prophet building the way he has picked up a Mithril Hammer, so most likely on his way to a Maelstrom. That'll make things a little bit easier for him in terms of damage output, in terms of split push. But they seem to run out of gas. Like, as soon as a fight starts, they'll counterpunch fairly well. They'll take some damage because they do have some tankiness and some survivability on the Dragon Knight and any hero with the help of living armor from the Treant. But I don't know. And there's the medallion.
They also lack that kind of cleanup here. Like, you get them low with the Venomancer, and normally you need to have a Queen of Pain to blink after them, kill them off, or a Slark or something. Their carries is Avenge, a DK. These are not good chasing heroes or cleanup heroes in general. Prophet's like so-so because you can TP behind, but this is a Prophet who's not farmed his way into a carry build.
That is a large stack of Ancients, and the rich get richer.
From Spirit, though.
They're going to get there late for the Ancients.
See
Let's
this.
see if they can... Yep, it's going to be thrown out. In the meantime, Van's just saying, you know what, I'm just going to kill people for free.
Spirit was so close to getting there in time. Axe blinks away from the smoke gang coming in. He didn't even see them. He was just blinking towards the mid lane because he's like, I finished farming Ancients. Let's blink mid because my team's there waiting to make our next rotation. And Spirit are just 5 seconds too late to get there to contest the Ancients, find an Axe kill, and instead, EWolves lose no one. They find a kill at bottom lane with a Queen of Pain, and suddenly they're in the Roshan pit with a Slaughter amp damage. Easy pickings. Nothing Spirit can do about this.
About a 7,500 gold lead right now. The cloak picked up on Axe. One would imagine he's going to be heading in the direction. Well, I'll let you call this out if it's right or not. I would say Pipe.
Yeah, Pipe very good against Veno, so
well, they'll be able to high ground very quickly, too. Great high ground item. They're going to need to close it out.
It is a game where you kind of want to get BKBs as well, but I think just having a Pipe plus Mech is going to be enough to high ground as well as just win any team fight. At that point, where does Spirit's damage output even come from? The Venomancer isn't even level 11 yet. You're going to start buying those Tombs of XP and just pulling them Venomancer's way, because getting level 2 Poison Nova is probably the most crucial thing right now for Team Spirit.
Nice gank coming out from Spirit. Gonna see who they can find. They're gonna run smack into Smash. Problem is, Van's right there with him. EWO is gonna hit the crush. Follow up on point. Let's see if they can survive this. In the meantime, EWO is gonna be armlet toggling quite a bit. There's only one down, and it's on the side of Spirit. Goldblack's next on the list. EWO trying to use the snowball to buy time. Re-engages. And Mystico dropping. EWO deciding to disengage as soon as the snowball.
Yeah, they didn't really have Queen of Pain's full firepower. Without the Sonic Wave, Van also a little bit low in mana. And then the Winter Wyvern was actually at mid lane. So Spirit found a good time to engage into EWolves. And EWolves say, okay, that's not going to be a fight we can take. Even Ewo on the Slaughter didn't have any mana for extra Slither and Crushes. So unless he wants to just throw away his Aegis for a risky fight, it was probably a good decision just to leave the tusk, take the 1-for-1. It's still like the Illidan Venge, so in some ways you're killing off a core. I don't even know if we can really call the Venge a core anymore.
No.
He's probably just going to transition to like a 3/4 position player at this point, with Venomancer getting more farm priority.
If you check the net worth, hang on. Sonic Wave, the smash, 2 more dead here. Well, 1 more dead at least. Iceberg, because he's so tanky, he gets him out. Very nice scale from Always Wanna Fly. Still not going to be enough as they're able to bring him down easily. The Prophet even cancels the TP. To answer your question about whether the Venge is a core or not, less farm than the Wyvern. I think the answer is no.
And
there's going to be...
Nice curse.
Yep, curse on Always Wanna Fly. There's a 3-man crush, and this one is all over, but they're crying, I do believe. They're just absolutely pouring it on. Full 5-man wipe, second godlike streak of the game for Van, who is currently 14-0 and 14. 28 out of 33 kills. This is Peruvian style, man. Like, regardless of what expectations were of this team coming in, I think you summed it up very well. They didn't fly all the way to Ukraine to come and play some meta that they don't like that much. They came to do what they do, which is pour on the kills and let everyone else worry about the strategy. You kill enough people, you get enough gold, towers become easy.
And all this, the new patch perhaps favoring some of these tankier core heroes. Smash Axe, one of his kind of signature heroes almost. Yep. They are liking it right now in 6.87.
Iceberg there to try to keep this tier 2 up. Actually, tier 1, not tier 2, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, that's still the only thing that bothers me. They're getting tons of kills. I'm just not seeing a whole lot of objectives taken. Like, they're up 10,000 gold at 23 minutes. If I told you it was 33-10 at 23 minutes, you would say they're probably on high ground and up 30,000 gold. Like, I'm not saying necessarily that means Spirit is going to come back or will come back. But I do feel like Wolves are not getting as much mileage out of what they're doing. It's
hard with a draft where you've got Slider and Axe as your safe laner and mid because these heroes don't break towers very effectively.
There's going to be an ult used.
Just to stop the blink initiation, but there's a great Winter's Curse.
Yep, Always Want to Fly on the bad side. Ooh, there's a swap, but Illidan eats the damage from that. Van right on the side. He's still waiting on Sonic Wave. Poison Nova did go off. Let's see if it's going to help them. Funnick trying to do what he can. Down goes EWolves. They do lose Funnick, and Van has to blink away to keep himself safe as well. Masuko right there on the high ground being kept an eye on. 2 for 2 the exchange so far. Make it a double kill now for Always Want to Fly.
That's a big streak too.
Yeah, that's, you think?
There's Venom's Axe and some. The Quap got away and then walked into a Plague Ward. He was actually going to live from the Venom ultimate, and then suddenly he walks up a ramp and a Plague Ward like pokes him and kills him off. It was just like, oh no.
Plague Ward some spit on him.
But Elite Wolves, yeah, that's a pretty bad fight for them. They're still the one. They still got a pretty big lead. It's a bit of like a maybe 2,000 gold swing going Spirit's way.
That pipe's very important. And that's very unfortunate.
That's what they got now, yeah.
It's actually very unfortunate for Spirit. They just got up an Ags on the Venomancer. So, I mean, it's basically going to be a cancel it out kind of a situation.
Venom also died during the fight, so he didn't get any of the XP for the kills he got, so he's still not level 11 yet.
Wow.
400 XP away, so that's, you got to Tome of Experience it up at that point.
Smoke. Actually, Invis rune from Iceberg. Let's see if anyone can get eyes on him. Quap gets a Assault Cuirass.
Oh, that's they found Iceberg with a sentry mid.
Yep. Easy kill. Sonic Wave even going to be spent.
Oh, and the swap doesn't save him in time, so they get 2 kills out of it, thinking it could save the Dragon Knight, and with that, Elite Wolves should be able to, I'd say take objectives, but there's no, like, mid it's a tier 3 tower. That's a high ground push, which is not something they excel at. Even 5v3, even with decent-sized respawn timers, they can chip away at this tower, but there's no way they're actually going to get a lane of racks out of this. I'm curious to see what their move is going to be. The Assault Crest does give them slightly better pushing potential, but if you're not even, you've got to kill the tower completely, because otherwise what happens here is what you're seeing. This living armor will keep healing this tower up. Oh, Slaughter actually, that was bottom lane. You found the solo pickoff.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the pipe, they're pretty confident to just try to end this here, because, you know, like, pulling back is when they've gotten caught. The few times we've seen things get really bad was when they didn't just face forward. I mean, they're going to have Winter's Curse available.
Yep, they've got the pipe back up, so they get the tower, then they're going to look to reposition. They're not, I don't think this necessarily is a guaranteed, like, full-on retreat, but they want to just wait to see what Spirit's next move is going to be. Also wait to see if Spirit's going to give them a pick-off. Like, at this point, your Spirit, like, we've got to push our lanes. Is someone going to get caught out? Ewo's already looking for a blink initiation.
Unable to find it thus far. Wolves, they're going to go ahead and go on the retreat, man. What do you think of this call?
Swinging for this bottom tier 1 tower, it's fine. They know there's no glyph, so this is a free tier 1 tower, and Spirit engaging into this, not easy to do into the pipe, but there is no Sonic Wave, so...
Now they're just going to leave.
Yeah, this is safe play. You've managed to get a number of kills onto Team Spirit. You took out the tier 3 tower mid, so you've accrued quite a big gold lead here. If you're EWolves, you're kind of at this stage saying, okay, Roche is up sometime in the next 1 to 4 minutes. We take Roche very well with Slider amp damage. We want to make sure we have an Aegis on one of our just ballsy initiates. You've got a Slider or an Axe in the front lines blinking into like enemy heroes with like Venom Ultimate, DK stuns. You want to have an Aegis on these kind of cores. So they're going to slow things down. Even look to finish some items like BKBs perhaps with EWO getting very close to it on his Slider.
Well, the 3 top farmed heroes, no surprise. And to see that it's going to be on EWolves after the game they've had thus far. We're just 28 minutes in and a grand total of 51 kills, so an absolute bloodbath. Big winner from that, as we've been hollering about all game, Van. 16-1-6. They finally didn't manage to bring him down for a huge gold bonus, but he's still at 1,500 net worth, which is nearly double that of the 2 main cores on Team Spirit, the Nature's Prophet and the Dragon Knight. So the Venge pick not working out for him. Kind of a yard sale look on her items. Just a smattering of all kinds of things.
Her score, 1-9. It's not been Illidan's best game by any means.
No, I mean, I don't really think that's Illidan's fault, though. I don't think he was. I don't think he was put in a position to succeed.
He was put in a position to go down and feed this game. When you're left solo against a, like if it was 1v1 against a Quap, it's a tough matchup. But there's a Tusk roaming around constantly, so everything was kind of put against him. And GoBlack kind of made the decision to put more emphasis on the Venomancer getting farm in that off
Call
lane.
on the Funnick, and unfortunately for him, he was surrounded by Trance. Even less fortunate for him. EWO had a few things to say about it as well. He's down for 50 seconds, and it looks like Wolves eyeballing this Roshan.
Very fast respawn on Roshan. Without NP, I don't know if Spirit can... They can buy back on the NP, and fighting around the Roche pit when they're grouped up to hit a good Venom Ultimate is an ideal place to fight, but Iceberg's on position. It just doesn't look like Spirit are ready for this.
Roche take it for free. Not even able to contest it. And let's see what they want to do with this Aegis. The tier 1, certainly. You think they'll push tier 2 or higher?
Yeah, this is just a big gold boost. Like, yeah, you can take Aegis and try and secure a lane of racks, which is perhaps a bigger strategical advantage, but in terms of your economy, there's still plenty of items to grow towards. So they're going to look to take both these towers at bottom. They reset the glyph, but that's fine. And for Spirit, your best position to take a fight and defend is going to be your high ground. If they fight this bottom tier 2, it's a very risky play, and they're only doing it because they think they're going to catch EWolves by surprise.
Doesn't look like they want to engage. They're hanging back. They've got a few undercover of Nature's guys.
Oh, gosh.
Yep.
Nature's Prophet TPing into the trees there.
A little spread out here. EWO trying to find a target. Slowed down in the lead sheet. They're going to turn it around. Winner's Curse on point as GoBlack is being blown up. Sonic Wave through the trees, and once again Van on point with the big ulti. Masoko
using doing a lot though with his ulti.
Yeah, EWO's right there with him too, though. I mean, EWO just really doing work. GoBlack did have to buy back for this. Let's see if it's going to be worthwhile. Not for him, it's not. Die back, and can they get Funnick? Aegis up, doesn't matter. Masoko survived being corralled over in the trees there by using his own embrace. So it's been a full 5-man wipe. If they, well...
And some, with the buyback.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, look at EWO, just ready to go. This is not a full 5-man. Count to 6 with me. EWO on a dominating streak of his own. And the tier 2 still stands. I don't know what they're going to be. I mean, and that's probably, again, the big knock is they're winning these fights huge, but the map control not what it could be. But ultimately, don't know they're that angry.
Yeah, it looked like Funnick was trying to trying to TP into like a little tucked away spot in the trees there, but got scouted out, and from there things just went horribly wrong. Oh, that teamfight recap. 2 buybacks on Team Spirit. That was a 7 for 2, and one of those 2 kills was just an Aegis. So they only got 1 kill on the Tusk and lost 7 lives. Used 2 buybacks. Doesn't get much worse than that.
The recap up. Hang on. Van in a bad situation,
Van ship. Oh, the overgrowth. Milliseconds too late, and Van went for the BKB rack secure, but the Treant helping keep it alive with living armor.
Yep. And the thing is, like you had pointed out before, that sucks more so because you just spend a BKB charge in that case, and you're going to come back, it's going to be full. Yeah, he's just going to keep healing it till it's full.
It definitely sucks. If this was like an even game, you'd be like, that's one of those plays where it's like, man, he should have focused the melee before he focused the range racks. It could change the game, but no, this isn't an even game. This is a 25,000 net worth lead, a 30,000 XP lead. You don't really care at that point that you didn't get the melee racks, I think. You're just like, oh well, I BKB'd to get a racks, we didn't get it. Who cares? We'll go take another fight. We have 46 kills. How often do you see 46 kills in a Dota 2 game?
On one side, yeah, exactly. Like 46 kills, 60 total in 32 minutes. Like, this is in theory, as lopsided a game as I've seen. Black throws out the seed on the M-God. There's going to be a swap on the van. EWO there to re-engage, though. And Illidan, who actually, is going to end up dropping his van coming from the side, coming out of left field, and hitting another big ulti. Double kill, that's 3 down. And poor Iceberg, nowhere to go.
Yeah, he's not getting out of this one. At this point, he is actually just squishy as a Dragon Knight.
They just about made it away because some ill-placed shards and a couple of missed abilities, but ultimately EWO's force staff coming into play. Triple kill for Van. He's either really good at KSing or he's doing a boatload of damage, I do believe.
He's got more assists than kills, you know?
That's fair.
He's doing all right.
That is ridiculous. That is
2 kills at 33 minutes. Like, this is... if this is what we're going to see on this new patch, I like what IceFrog has done with the new patch.
Yeah, it's certainly making our jobs easier, man. If they pay us by the minute, our salaries went up.
They're going to pay us by the kill, AC.
Oh, jeez.
That's what I'm going to argue for from now on.
Would like to be paid by the hype moment, please. The amount of hype is my primary metric now. 2 racks down. Not hype if you're a Team Spirit fan, as they have more or less been rolled over, both figuratively and literally, thanks to, everyone's played well on the side of EWolves. Mystico, as you said, very active early on, freeing this map up. They're going to go right back in. EWO hits a bash after the crush. Illidan down immediately. Black's next on the list. Always want to fly. Lives up to his name, takes flight, comes down a dead corpse, and that's going to be a 34-minute GG as EWolves, the Peruvians, my friend, come into Kiev, the home of at least one guy that I know of, Black. Pretty sure he's Ukrainian, isn't he? He's Ukrainian or Russian?
Yeah, he's Ukrainian.
Yeah, I was going to say, so Black and his squad taking a bad bop on the nose from our Peruvians, who I guess they like the weather here. Not quite as hot, women are certainly beautiful. Okay, enough of the jokes.
I didn't know we invited Toby to